what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Krusty. Today in this video, we are going to be talking about my 5 personal best video breakdowns or pair breakdowns that I'm expecting for this week coming of January 9th. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe down below so that way you guys can see any future content related to this one. And be sure to give a thumbs up on this video if this did help you out in any way, shape, or form. So that way I know to keep producing more content out just like this video alone. And also be sure to blow the fuck up out the comments so that way we can boost this video out to a lot more individuals throughout the trading community. And aside from that, if you guys hear my dryer in the background, just be sure to ignore it. I should have my mic settings turned down all the way so you guys shouldn't be able to hear it. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. And we're going to go ahead and just start off by breaking down gold, because gold right now where it's at, it's pretty interesting. I was in a very big buy bias on gold until it did what it did last week. So looking into market structure as a whole right now, let's just look into the 4-hour. You can see price is in a very nice bullish run and forming some sort of a trending trend line right here, right? So you can see we are in some sort of a range right here throughout December. Market just was not good to trade as a whole throughout December. Market was extremely choppy. Leading up into this point right here, we have some sort of a breakout within this consolidation range right here. And notice how price is starting to form higher lows and higher highs, forming some sort of an uptrending motion right around here. Price came back up, formed a new higher low, and now look right here where price is at. So keep in mind, this level of weekly is my weekly resistance / support level, right? So I was anticipating some very strong selling pressure right off of this level right here. Caught some shorts right around this general area right here. And then we caught some longs right around here. I did get stopped out after my TP1 got hit at my break-even point. But overall, direction was good on the trade setup. Came back up all the way to the weekly, which was my overall target. And then price just basically melted beyond this point again. And notice how price did not close above this structural level right here, showing me some sort of a potential switch in trend if price were to break this low right here. So notice, this is the very start of the new trend. We got the higher high, lower high. Lower low, lower high, and then lower low. And this is what confirmed it because of the fact that price basically closed below this low right here. So what are we doing right now is we are just retracing. So the next thing that I'm anticipating and expecting on gold is for price to maintain below this daily level right here, because not only would we be retesting previous support to then act as resistance, but we'd also be at some sort of a major key level for my daily level. If you look back at previous history, you see very strong support, very strong resistance right around this general area right here, right? Not only that, but if price were to show me some sort of a candlestick variation within that general area, we would be right at my 38-point rejection tool right around there. On my Fibonacci, we'd be right around my 38% extension. So overall, it showed very good momentum. If price were to not maintain above or below this structural level, my next sell zone would be right around this daily level right here of my 1810. I'd ideally want to see price come back just a little bit more, just because of the fact that I want it to retest this trend line right here. This would be the perfect pocket for price to basically come back up and retest, because we'd be retesting daily level of support resistance. We'd be retesting my trend line, and not only that, but we'd also be within my 50%, 61.8% extension on my Fibonacci. So overall, I'm expecting some sort of retracement to then take price all the way back down to my 1769 level right around here. Because what is the probability of price coming all the way down here after you see some sort of a trending motion to the downside? Very likely, right? So all in all, we're looking at this point on is literally the retracement entry, right? So that's how it's looking like on gold. It's either going to be an entry right around 1800 or 1810. It's going to be the same thing with silver, because silver does correlate very much so likely with gold. I did want to take a buy position off of this general area right here. I had my long set somewhere around here. I sent it out as some sort of a trade idea within my Discord group. So anybody who did take this trade setup in the Discord group was up right around this general area right here. They should be in profit if they did take the trade setup up about 200 pips. I did call it after the break in this trend line right here. I set stops below this general structural area right here. I think maybe I had it right there. So maybe people got wicked out, but overall I just said trade idea right there. This wasn't a signal I called out completely, but It's the fact that the idea was there, and obviously price did what I anticipated. So now the next big thing, like I said, is just like with gold, is for price to come back up, retest previous resistance, to then act as resistance, right? Previous support to then act as resistance to then continue back down to the downside. So if price on gold were to continue to retrace back up, this would also retrace as well. But if it maintains below that structural level, then look at where price is at on our 4 hour. I can draw it clear as day, support resistance zone right around this general area on our bigger time frames, and we're just around that point where gold is at as well. You can think of this being the daily level on gold and this one being the daily level on gold, right? So like I said, these two correlate together. They basically move the same way. It's just a matter of which one shows the best setup and also which one looks with the best risk to reward, shows the best risk to reward. So those are those two. Looking into GU is extremely bullish. I would not want to take any sells at all within this pair, and specifically because of the fact that if you look into the daily time frame where it's at now, you can see some sort of a very strong trending motion to the upside, and it's continuing on. If you look at this daily close, where did we close above? Previous structural level of support, resistance, absolutely no rejections, or it looks like loss of momentum at all within this general area. Not only that, but we also closed and maintained above this key level, psychological level of 1.35 thousand, right? So the biggest thing I could look for on GU is for some sort of a continuation back on, hopefully throughout Asia. And if price were to continue to buy, I look for some sort of a retracement back down into this area right here to then take price all the way up to the next key level or psychological level of 1.37 thousand, right? And looking back into the bigger time frame, what is that? Previous level of resistance, support, resistance. So what is the probability of price reaching that point from this point on after closing above this support level? Very likely. So like I said, all I really want to wait for on GU is for just some sort of a continuation, retest, and then continue on all the way up there. So very, very, very simple, very simplistic, all of that stuff. Looking into GJ, it's the very, very same thing. We are very bullish. Why do I want to take sells within the market right now where it's at now? We do see some sort of an inverted head and shoulders. I mean, head and shoulders right here is not inverted, but head and shoulders right here. So if I did want to take sells on GJ, I'd want to see price literally break below this daily level right here, retest previous support, to then act as some sort of a resistance to then continue back on down to potentially this level right here. Because what is the probability of price breaking down through this level? Very not likely, because you can see it as a very strong level of support and resistance. But what is the probability of price retesting that level? Very likely, right? If price were to not break below this specific level on GJ, just like this, I literally just look for, since we are in a bullish market, I want to take more buys. I want to see price come back down, retest our daily to then target potentially all the way up to our overall target being up here before I could see some sort of a reversal, because of the fact that if we were to do that, it'd be some sort of a double top within our daily time frame. And not only that, but looking into our weekly as well. Notice how our weekly did close above this structural level, like I said, right here and right there, right? Looking over here, we did get a little bit of wickage, but she looks like she still has some momentum. Looking into the daily, we did wick this daily level. Price could probably just come back down, retest it again to then continue back onto the upside. So that's GJ. I'm very much so bullish on this above our 156 level. If I want it to be bearish, I want to see price literally just break below, retest, and then continue on. Now, looking into AUDUSD, this is probably one of my favorite one of my most simplistic ones that's showing on my chart right now. This is definitely one to keep an eye on right here. So notice how AUDUSD has just been in some sort of a seller's market since all the way up here of this consolidation range throughout summer. Price was just continuously making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then we had some sort of a flag pattern within this general area right here, right? And what did price do soon after that flag pattern broke? It continued to sell off to the downside. And keep in mind, guys, I don't really trade flag patterns, but I literally just saw this right now, clear as day too. So that's just another one of the confluences. What does price do soon after this point right here? It literally came back up into this general area, somewhat did of a not really retap, but it retraced all the way back up there, retested my 50 SMA right around that general area. And what did price do soon? Basically continue back onto the downside. Not only that, but it retested our previous psychological level, could not close and maintain above structure. So it's basically showing me that price wants to continue to fly back down. So what's the next big thing that I'm expecting right here? We had our break in structure on our 4-hour time frame. We broke our trend line right here. So the biggest thing is we're getting in on some sort of retracement at this point on. So if I wanted to be very, very aggressive with this entry right here, I'd want to take an entry at this 38% extension, but I'd have big stops, which would be about a 70 pip stop. If price were to get to my ideal point, which would be up here, this is where I want to really see price come up because of the fact that it'd be retesting a little bit better of the pocket between my 50 and 61. And not only that, but my trend line as well. It'd give me a much better risk to reward ratio. But where AUDUSD right now is at, if you guys did want to be aggressive and take an entry, you can very much so likely take a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio where price is at right now. But since this pair does move extremely slow, be ready to hold this trade for about a week or two. Looking into this, you can see 180 pips that you're trying to target. Looking right here, if I were to basically scale out 180 pips, let's just see from that point on, it'd be literally more than a week, maybe more than 2 weeks from this point. So that's like the biggest thing. If you're not much of a swing trader, AUDUSD probably wouldn't be the pair to trade. But if you're very much so patient and would like to rather do that and literally just take one trade throughout the entire week, that looks very, very probable. This is definitely the pair to look into. But these are all the 5 pairs that I was looking into that I'm very, very interested for this week of January 9th. If you guys have any questions at all, be sure to drop them down in the comments below. If this video did help you out in any way, shape, or form, be sure to also blow up the comments down below. Give me a thumbs up so that way I know you guys like these type of videos. And I do have a free Discord plugged down below if you guys want to join in. We have an awesome community of hundreds and hundreds of traders in there sending breakdowns, analysis, and just communicating with each other all together. So if you guys want to be a part of that, be sure to join down below, completely free. And aside from that, I will see you guys in the next breakdown video. Peace.